Welcome to the Entertainment Answer. I am Matt Mungle, jumping into 2024. Then 3 weeks in, but January is always kind of a dead month. Talking about I.S.S. hitting theaters January the 19th. And what can I say? It's decent. Welcome to 2024. I.S.S. hitting theaters this weekend. We haven't had much to talk about in the way of movies this year. January is always a dry month for movies. I mean, we're still in the middle of award season. We had all the heavy dramas and the Oscar bait and everything at the last quarter of 2023. Now going into the beginning of the year, it's going to be a little hit and miss from what's in the theater. And even what's in the theater, you have to ask yourself, would it be better off to spend money and watch this at home? Or if I just got to get out to the theater, is it worth it? Well, for I.S.S., the new R-rated space thriller, it depends. I mean, if you just have to get out to the theater, it's not a bad watch. Will it hit the same at home? I think so. You would think that a film that is set in space, especially at the International Space Station, which I.S.S. stands for, that you would think that it would be just this vast, beautiful thing to see on screen. But I just felt like the cinematography and some of the scene work in there could have hit just as fine at home. If you're not familiar with the ISS, the International Space Station, it was created about the time the Cold War ended, and it was between America and Russia, and they decided to come together and they send both of their astronauts up there. You have Russian astronauts, American astronauts, and they work on space exploration. They study different things about medicines and just, I guess, whatever they study in space. But it takes place up there, and everybody gets along. Cold War's over, been over for a while, and everybody gets along. But in this one, ISS, something's going on at Earth, and we're not really even sure. I kind of like the fact that we don't really see what's happening down on the globe, but something happens, and each team, the Americans and the Russians, get a cryptid message to take over the ISS at any cost. And of course, at any cost often means a lot of bloodshed, fisticuffs, and dangerous peril. This one does not disappoint when it comes to those things that we look for. It stars Ariana DeBose. It's got Chris Messina, John Gallagher Jr. in this, and the acting is pretty solid. The story itself was a bit thin. There's a lot of times we're thrown into this incident without really knowing a lot about the characters. We get a little glimpse of maybe their personality, some of the interaction that they have had, but we don't know enough to immediately side with one group or the other, or one individual or another. It's very vague, some of the things that have happened, and it jumps right into a story, and the characters begin to do things that I assume is in their line of personality, but at the same time, I don't know enough about them to know if it's what should happen or not. There is a lot of, that's convenient moments that take place as well. There is a lot of elevated drama for things that we don't, as the audience and the viewer, don't get the depth of the drama. So it's hit and miss. It really is. It's not a bad film by any means. I would have been just as fine kicked back on the couch with my feet up watching it at home. So whatever streaming service this thing eventually hits. But again, it's January. So people are dying to get into the theater. These people were dying to get out of space. So, you got to do what you got to do. Some good points about this. It's only an hour and 35 minutes. Again, coming out of last year, the award race, we're used to every movie being 2:45, 3 hours. If anything shorter than two hours seems like a short film, but at an hour and a half, it was plenty. So we got our story told, even with the holes and some of the thinness of it. We got the story told, we get in and out, and it's good. The fact that it's only an hour and a half long. To get maybe all the backstory into the characters, we would have needed a longer movie, which I think would have been detrimental. I think it's rather to have short and thin than to have a long movie with just a couple more plot points in it. So it does well there. Again, the acting is great. I'm a huge fan of Ariana DeBose. And, we have seen her sing, we have seen her dance, we have seen her in all of her glamour and her beauty and her power. So it was interesting to see her as an astronaut having to face this kind of drama and this kind of thriller and this sort of decision making that she has to do. So again, it's called I.S.S., one of the first big movies to hit theaters 2024. If you see it, I'd love to hear your opinion. Be sure and comment below. For more reviews, everything that we do, be sure and like, follow, and subscribe. For the Entertainment Answer, I'm Matt Mungle. We'll be back again to talk about more movies.